This is Tolu Michaels. He's a digital entrepreneur and an unapologetic people lover. You can see that in her looks already. I already know that. All right. She teaches modern entrepreneurs to build purposeful and profitable personal brands so that they can actually attract quality clients, sell premium products, and scale their impact. So, the table is right now turned onto you. All right, Tolu Michaels, it's good to have you on tonight's conversation. First of all, on my list here, I believe is a very good question. So, to you, what's personal brand in your, or what's personal branding in your own words as a digital, as a personal brand expert? So, what's personal branding to you in your own words? Over to you.
Okay, thank you. Personal branding is everything that you do to establish your reputation such that something comes to mind when people see your face or hear your name. And I usually say that it is what you do to, position, package, and promote yourself. That's personal branding in a nutshell. And thank you so much for having me. I'm excited about this conversation. And for anyone who is thinking, personal branding is not for me. I don't want to package. I have nothing to package yet. That's why I started by saying it's everything you do to establish a reputation, so that something specific comes to mind when people see your face or hear your name. How do you want people to feel when they hear your name? How do you want people to feel when they see your face? Like that first thing that comes to their mind, that's your brand. That's your personal brand. And so personal branding is everything you do to manage that.
My next question, which is, so amongst, what are the list of things anyone, okay, when I say anyone right now, I mean beginners, amateurs, professionals, and anyone out there in any field, in any industry of any niche must do to build a solid personal brand, especially online? What are some of the list of things? There's a list of things that anyone out there, whether beginners, amateurs, professionals, in any field, in any industry, in any niche, all right, can actually must do to build a solid personal brand online. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, I was just laughing when you said anyone, because one of the first lessons you learn in personal branding is that there is nothing that is for everyone. So
all right,
you can't be for everyone. I can't be for everyone. And there is actually really nothing that works for everyone, which is actually even why your personal brand will always stand out, because some people are going to love you and some people won't. It's just what it is. So when you want to build your personal brand, the first thing you actually want to identify is, who am I talking to? Who am I targeting? And there are different people. It could be the client, it could be the boss, it could be the investors, it could be the donors. But you just need to be clear on who it is. So who are the people that are going to be receiving this message, or the message I'm sharing, or the work that I'm doing? And that's the first thing on the list. It's not any tool, it's not any app, it's not any resource. The first thing is really, who am I? What is the value here? What am I bringing to the table? Who am I? What am I doing? And who am I doing it for? Even if you don't know any app, if you know those three things, you're still good. You're still good. If you know who you are, what you're doing, and who you're doing it for, it's a great place to start. In fact, that is the place to start. And then other things that you would need, it's a long list, because when you look at the definition of personal branding, it's not something you just do and move on. It's a part of your career. It's a part of your lifestyle as a person, as an individual, and even as a professional. So, but the things I can tell you is, first thing, who you are, what you do, and who it's for. And then the next thing that you want to just have are the things that speak to your identity, the things that express your identity. For example, a photograph. I don't think there's anything that talks about you better than your photograph. It's your photograph that people will see and be like, oh yeah, I see, this is Essay, oh, this is Tolani, oh, this is Chidima. It's the photograph that does that. So you want to invest in a good photograph. And good photograph doesn't mean it has to be the most expensive. It just needs to be clear. It needs to not be blurry. It doesn't have to be a selfie taken with shaking hands. And then the other thing is, what are you going to call yourself? What will people call you? So you see, when it comes to personal branding, sometimes when we tell people the basic stuff, it's like, oh, but this is so basic. As basic as it is, people are not doing it right. There are still so many people. I go on LinkedIn and I see some people's pictures, or some don't even have picture at all. They will now send you a friend request, or a connection request, and you'll be confused. Like, is this person a terrorist? Is this mystery man? Is this, as in, who is this? So as simple as it is, you want to check that. The other thing is, what are you going to call yourself? What will people call you? So that's brand name. And for a personal brand, it's nice if it's your name, but even if it's not your name, it might be an element of your name, like the Sam Speaks, it could be an element of your name, or, I just saw Sheyi Cooks, or something that represents you or that speaks to what you do. But what is it going to be? Tolu_123_Michaels, it's not a brand name. So all those underscores, all those numbers, they're distracting from the main thing, because what you're saying is that for me to remember to find you, I have to first write it down, because there's no way I'll remember that thing, right? So you want a name that is easy to type and easy to spell. Those are the characteristics of your brand name, something that is easy to type and easy to spell. Because if it is not easy to type or easy to spell, then you've already lost people. So maybe I found someone really nice, and I was like, oh, okay, I just learned about someone today, and I won't tell my friend about the person, and I can't spell the name. So mission unaccomplished. So you want a name that is easy to spell and easy to type. The other thing that you need for a personal brand is the story behind what you do. And when I say like a brand story, people kind of just think I'm talking about a grass to grace story. Or I was in the pits 5 years ago, and now I'm successful. That's not what we're talking about. But a story in terms of what is the problem you're solving, how are you solving it, and what will happen to people as a result of your solution. So you want to just be able to nail that. And many entrepreneurs today actually don't even know the problem they're solving. When you ask them, they'll say, I sell shoes. Okay, but that's not the problem you're solving. Or you ask someone, say, I'm a business coach. Nice, but that is not the problem you're solving. So what is the problem you're solving? In personal branding, for example, there are several problems that you could be solving. People are, unclear. That could be a problem. So you could be giving people clarity. People are unknown. That could be a problem. So you could be giving people visibility. Do you understand? So people are untrusted. That is a problem. So your solution could be that you're giving people credibility. So it's not just saying, I am a this coach or I am a that creative. What is the problem that you're solving? And when people take your solution, what will happen to them afterwards? You must be able to describe that transformation. You must be able to describe that change that will happen. And these are the tools and things that you need, for your personal brand.
The next question for our speaker tonight. So what are some of the tools or resources that anyone, okay, should I use anyone now? Okay, let me say I. All right, so you said I shouldn't say anyone. Okay, what are some of the tools or resources I can use to effectively grow my personal brand online? Or are there tools, or if there are tools, what are some of those tools that one can use to grow your personal brand online? Over to you, Ma.
Okay, thank you. So, like I shared earlier, as for personal branding tools, it depends on your goal. So when it comes to tools or resources, there's no one size fits all. So it depends on what you're trying to do. So for example, if you're trying to grow your thought leadership, like on social media, you want to have like all the social media apps, but then you also want to have something that helps you to create content quickly, like a quick design. If you want to design something yourself. So for example, there's Canva, there is Adobe Spark Post. So you can use those apps for designing your content. And the reason I talked about this is that if your personal brand is fire, then content is the gasoline, right? Content is the petrol, because that's what fuels your personal brand. That's what tells us how good you are. If you're not sharing content, nobody will know how good you are, no matter how good you are. So you wanna get like an app like that helps. And the other thing that I had said earlier is that you can download a free blueprint I have, toolmarcos.com/personal brand, because it has a list of like key decisions and next steps when it comes to building your personal brand. Another tool that is crucial that I want to mention tonight is your personal brand website. You want to have a personal website. And many times people argue and say, why don't you need a website? I have social media. And then I ask them, social media, is it your own? Why would you build an entire house on another person's land? And if you've lived long enough, you've seen the entire range. You've seen High Five, you've seen MySpace, you've seen Google Plus. Those things are not even, nobody's using those things again right now. And that's likely to be the fate of every other thing that you hold so dearly, because businesses grow and change, just like you, right? So have a personal website so that you have your own space on the internet where you can share information about your personal brand, where you control the narrative, where you actually know that everybody that lands here is seeing me. On social media, you don't get to decide what people see. That's the job of the algorithm. But on your personal website, your story is being told by you the way you want it to be told. And the other reason that's so important is for your online presence, because people are going to Google you. If you're invited to speak somewhere, if you're invited for an interview or a meeting, I think Terry even said the same thing tonight, right? You Google the person in advance to just see, what's this person about. And when they do, even if you have 1,000 posts on Instagram is just one line. It's just one of the results. So but on your website, when you have a personal website, you could have blog posts. You can populate your online presence on a website in a way that you won't be able to do through social media. So that's something that you should definitely consider.
Are there some do's or don'ts, or what are the do's or don'ts, or something like a checklist that anyone out there who wants to build a personal brand online can actually do? What are some of the things, do's or don'ts? What are the things we need to do? Or some of the things we don't need to do?
Well, I think the first thing is that do not allow other people to tell you what your do's and don'ts are. I think that's the first thing. And that is because a personal brand is personal. And so here's the thing. We can all be loud. We can all be quiet. We can all be, flashy. We can all be conservative. But we can all be ourselves. And that's the beauty of building a personal brand, right? You get to do it your own way. You get to share your message. You get to do your work. You get to contribute. And you don't contribute by sitting around waiting for other people's do's and don'ts. So I think that would be my first don't. Don't allow everybody, or don't allow people to tell you what to do.
Be yourself.
Yeah, I'm joking, but I'm serious. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yes. And the other thing is, do see the value in what you're bringing, in what you're offering. So our topic tonight is profitable personal branding, right? And you won't be profitable if people are not, because profit is like you're reaching your goals, you're getting more than you put in. By definition, that's profit. You're getting more than you put in. And that won't happen if people don't see the value. And guess what? They won't see the value if you don't see the value. So many times when people are thinking about personal branding, they think it's about something external. It's about, let me go for photo shoots, or let me package my work, or let me get one influencer to do a shout out for me. Those things are nice, but you need to be able to see the value for yourself. You need to know that those things work because of you. If you think about someone you really admire, any entrepreneur you really admire, if they change their font now, or they do a new photo shoot, it's not going to change who they really are. So never forget it, that your personal brand is valuable because of you. Don't say, oh, I don't really have any value to give, Joe. I'm just building websites, or I'm just designing. No, you are actually the value. So bringing yourself into the work, bringing your skills, your talents, your abilities, your personality traits, that is the value that you're bringing. So don't think that your value is in one website somewhere, or is in one color palette somewhere, or is in one portfolio somewhere. No, it's you. So do think about it. Do remember that the world needs what you have. And then one more don't would be don't wait for other people to what's the word now, to validate. So don't wait for other people's validation. It's nice when you have it, It's really nice for somebody to tell you, oh my gosh, I think you're doing a great job, or your brand is beautiful, or, or wow, I'm so inspired by you. It's nice when people tell you that, but it is not necessary. You don't need anybody's permission to progress. You could do without it. You don't need anybody's validation to move forward. It's nice if you have it, but if you don't, just remember that it's not a requirement. Yeah, that's it.
Is there one word or your parting word that for us before we let you go, ma'am?
It will be that purpose and profit can sit in the same sentence. So many times when I say I help people build purposeful and profitable personal brands, it's always like, wow, how do you put all of that in one sentence? But purpose and profit can sit in the same sentence. Nothing wrong with making money, nothing wrong with being profitable. And actually, if you're profitable, you're able to do more, which is just great. Which is just great. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tolu Marquez, for your time, for taking our time to add value to us tonight. Thank you so much, and everyone.